Alright, hello guys, and welcome to my next video. I was thinking this time around I'd make more of a guide video, maybe. I don't know, maybe just go into a bit more depth, explaining things for those people who are more new to the game, or who are like on Noble or Monarch level. Because I make a lot of Immortal DT content, but not much low-level content, and there's not too many actual guides for those level of players in the game. Both Lane and Absolute Zero, I don't think, who are the other bigger streamers and YouTubers than me, they haven't actually made any guides, I think, for new players. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to try to do something like that. Maybe put myself out there a bit more and help some people learn the game. So I'll try my best to explain everything. We'll start with the basics. Now, normally you might think this is how you start a game. You know, you go la 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 la, pick your stuff here. That's all fine. But what I prefer doing is going into custom game. And then choosing my stuff here. You have so many more options. You get this entire list of options that you wouldn't usually get access to. You have the list of maps here and the climates. I think this is all in the other settings, but it's this list of options here. And mainly, you want to pick your flavor. So there's a few things I typically turn off, and that's huts and events. You might be one of those people that really enjoys playing without tech trading, and that's very understandable. You can turn off technology trading or just tech brokering to limit the tech trading. You can also turn off barbarians, which are a huge problem when you move up to Immortal and DD particularly, because they are one of the hardest aspects of DD and Immortal, I think, like dealing with the really early barbarian archers that are extremely dangerous and limit your ability to scout your surroundings. You can do some other stuff like no vassal states, one city challenge, always war, turn off spy points if you're not into that, choose religions. A lot of people like it when I put that on. No, I'll put that on, why not? And you could also pick the AI here, if you want to pick nicer opponents while you learn the game. I have done a leaders ranking video, and I also touched on the AI leaders a bit, so you might get an idea of which ones are friendly and more aggressive based on that. Or you can just search these guys up on the wiki. So when you're picking a leader, if you're new, you want to pick traits that are very forgiving and easy to use. There are some traits in here which don't do much. There are some traits that don't do much unless you use it effectively, like spiritual, for example. And then there are some traits which just are always amazing to have, like financial, creative, expansive. Philosophical is good, but I found a lot of new players do not know how to use great people and specialists effectively. And to be honest, same. I did not know that until I got to like Immortal. I did not know how to use the great people. All I knew how to do... I didn't know anything about running great people when I was a young kid playing on Noble. And when I got to Immortal, all I did was make an academy and maybe start a golden age, and that was it. But you can do a lot with philosophical... but it's kind of tricky to use. So if you're new to the game, I don't recommend playing that, maybe. It takes a lot to use that to its full potential. That doesn't mean you can't learn, but yeah. So if you're new, I would recommend maybe playing like Willem. Financial Creative, very, very easy traits to use. Or like maybe Seria Varman, also very good traits. Even Joao can be good on lower levels where you don't get so much maintenance and you can expand freely. Even aggressive is not a bad trait, or charismatic for a pretty simple. So yeah, that's my take on that. I am going to pick a fairly simple leader. I'm going to play Washington because I haven't played him yet. He's kind of average. Expansive is... I did say expansive is easy to use, but you can... I'm going to show you how to use it really effectively. You know, like the one-pop whips on the granaries, the fast worker, if you work 4 hammers in your city, you get an extra hammer. And when and where you can settle your city away from water to avoid fresh water, but get a better city because you're expansive and that gives you health anyway. So we're going to try and get some play out of that. I think I'll do a Pangea map to keep it simple, and I'm not going to do it on DT since this is more of a guide video. I want it to be pretty chill, and I want to play how I want to play, so I'm going on Immortal. Immortal's still the second highest level, but there's a massive jump between Immortal and DD. And DD forces you to play what's best for the situation. Very difficult level. Okay, so yeah, this looks pretty good. Just a standard kind of map. We can randomize the climate maybe, make it more interesting. We're not going to pick our AI. We like to keep it a random surprise. And I'm going to try to talk about everything along the way and which AIs we bump into. So we've now started the game, and you get this screen here telling you about your leader. What's special about him? Well, he's expansive and charismatic, and we can search those up in a minute. Also, I play with the bug mod, and I recommend if you have any interest in Civ and want to learn it and get maybe like you want to learn it and actually be good at it, not just play casually, but if you want to actually be good at it and get to like Immortal and DD maybe one day, I recommend getting the bug mod yourself. It's super easy to set up, it's very safe, and it doesn't change the game at all. It just makes things easier to see and saves you a lot of micro. So something you have to click on 3 buttons to check every turn, you don't have to check that every turn. It'll just show up on the side of your screen. For example, the red fist for plotting, or how many cities the AI has. You can check those yourself normally, but the bug mod makes it easy. Also, the great person bar is up there, and that really helps someone who has no idea how to use their great people. It'll constantly remind them what's going on with the great person thing. I think that's really nice. Also, great general, and some other nice perks like overflow from finishing like your units and buildings. You might have an overflow. It'll tell you how much there is, especially when you hurry the production. And also how much the unhappiness stacks up each time you whip, which is hurrying production. Okay, so that's the basics. And yeah, I think install the bug mod if you have any interest in the game. So expansive is a really good trait. I rate this maybe 3rd best trait in the game. It's so powerful in the early game. It speeds it up, not just in terms of building cities, but also economically, because you get your worker out earlier. Your worker is the key to expanding your empire and economy. You get to work the farm, you know, and grow a few turns earlier perhaps. And because of that, you know, you get to grow and work commerce because of that. And you, yeah, like also your new cities build granaries twice as fast. So granary is usually the first building you want to build in every city. You don't build anything else before a granary typically. Maybe a monument. Maybe a monument, that's the only exception. But granary is usually first, and getting the granary twice as fast speeds up everything else. You will get the library 5 turns faster because you got the granary 5 turns faster. You know, it does a lot. It's really good. It's such a huge boost, and people don't realize how strong this trait is. It's very underrated. Charismatic. Now, charismatic is really good when you're not around many people, because you're pressed for happiness in the early game unless you can get trades or you can expand freely. When you're isolated, which means by yourself on a continent with no contact, or even semi-isolated, where you're on a continent with only one other person, your trades are limited, the money you make is also very limited, and your teching potential is limited because you can't trade for stuff. You don't get as many trade routes or any trade routes, and you might slow down your expansion because of it. Happiness being a problem. You might not get many happiness resources. You know, usually you expand and get happiness resources that way, and trade routes will pay for the cities, or you can just trade for happiness resources. But when you're by yourself, you can't really do that. So this will really help you out. Now, it'll still help me out a bit, even in a Pangaea map where the 6 guys are nearby. That's what Pangaea is. It's one big landmass, if you didn't know. That's the map I chose. It'll still be good, but maybe not quite as good. It also gives you a discount on promotions for your units. So you can get to Combat 3 with 8 experience instead of 10 experience. And that can make a difference in some cases, but not a big difference. Okay, now every empire also has starting technologies. That's the country you're playing. They're not based on the leader, they're based on the empire, just like the unique unit and building. Fishing and agriculture. So this is not a bad combination. What I typically say is if you have agriculture or mining as one of your starting techs, that's a good set. It doesn't matter what the other one is, as long as you have either agriculture or mining, because those open up so many opportunities. We can look at the technology tree here. Agriculture opens up animal husbandry and pottery, and those are really important techs to get early on. Mining will open up bronze working, and usually you want bronze working ASAP. You want agriculture or animal husbandry or fishing for your food ASAP. So I have, you know, the necessary food technologies and the ability to get more necessary food technologies if I need to, because animal husbandry allows you to improve pigs and cows and sheep and all that. So that's really nice. I can now just go straight to mining bronze working, which is probably what I will do. I will say there's a 90% chance I'm going to go mining bronze working because I'm starting inland, and well, even if I was on the coast, I'd go mining bronze working. That's probably even more likely. So there's a 90% chance I'm just going to go straight to that. Unless I have a pig, which I need a pasture for, and no other food resources to work. That's where I would go animal husbandry. I wouldn't go the wheel. That's not important. Building roads is not important. You want to improve food, get production, and then expand, and then you use the road to connect your cities up after, which means, yeah, wheel can be delayed. So here's the other thing. The technologies work, how do I say it? You see these arrows here going to the techs. Some technologies have multiple arrows going to them. And if you have each arrow there is attached to a tech is a 20% discount. So pottery will be 40% cheaper for me when I research the wheel because I have both fishing and agriculture. So it says 130 research, the beaker, don't worry about turns. I haven't put my city down yet. It says 130 research. That will really feel like 95 research because I have a discount here from having both fishing and agriculture. So that's pretty nice. Okay. Here's our start. Oh well, I jinxed myself. I have to go animal husbandry, guys. What do you think? Because I have, yeah, you can see this. Although we do have gold. Gold is pretty good. People say gold starters makes it pretty easy and it's very forgiving. So yeah, well, I don't care. I'm going to play with the gold start. Beat it. So yeah, if you have gold, that's usually good. Now the thing about the gold is it has 0 food when you improve it, so you want to have some kind of food in your city. So if I settled right here, this is bad because I can't actually get the pig from here. So when you're settling your city, you get these initial tiles in this square. You can turn that on in here, I think, somewhere. Show city radius. I think that might do it. You can also press Alt X, I think. I think this is with the bug mod as well, but this also shows you the BFC. The BFC means the big fat cross, and that's what this is. This is the maximum space of which tiles can be worked in a city. So if I settled there, I would I will gain access to these tiles when I get culture by either building a monument or being creative as one of my traits, or, which I'm not, by the way, or just being the capital city. The capital city, the first city you settle, your starting one, will be the capital, and that will generate culture on its own and claim these tiles within 5 turns. So you can see the pig is actually outside of it, and the pig is a really good source of food. So I'm going to need to move my settler to get that pig, because this is not good enough. I will have very low food here. If I work the cow, I will have +3 food per turn when it's improved. That's a 3 food tile. You can check here on the left, it'll say +1 food, +2 hammers with a pasture. That makes it 3 food. But the gold mine is going to be a 0 food tile. So if I work both of these, I will not be gaining much food at all. I'll be at 1 food per turn. And that's no good. So we need to move to get some food. Where are we going to move, guys? Maybe something like that. Okay. You could even move on the Plains Hill, but that's a bit... I don't know. Usually, so you always start with a warrior or scout, and you want to move your warrior or scout first to see if you can find something better. I think I'm going to go here on this hill. It's possible I might want to settle this hill. I don't think I care about looking in the ice. You can see the tundras here, the icy, grey, rocky textures. You don't want to put your first city down there. That's bad. So I might move here or here. I'm not too sure. I will go here and check what's going on. Not much really. It doesn't actually seem very impressive at all. And this is kind of awkward, because if there could be fish here, and if I go here, I might destroy my opportunity to get fish, because I would not be able to settle a city here. You can only settle future cities within 3 tiles of your existing city. So I can settle here later on if I settle here, but if I go here, on this tile right here, I won't be able to put anything on these tiles. I can go here, but what if the fish is up here, man? What am I going to do? I guess I can go here. Yeah, it's kind of tricky. Now, if you settle on a Plains Hill, you get a huge production bonus in the early game, especially with Expansive trait. I will get my worker in 10 turns if I settle on that hill. And that will significantly improve my early game expansion. But the gold will be out of range, so I don't know how good that is. And sometimes you got to choose, you know, do you want early food hammers, or do you want commerce? And I have a lot of commerce here. I'm on the river. I can get pottery pretty early with my starting techs, and I have a gold mine, which is, yeah, the main source of commerce. And every tile here has a commerce on it, just about. So commerce is not too much of a problem. I could move away from the gold if I really wanted to, but I don't think I want to go there. That can ruin fish. It's not a good spot because it's like 1 tile away from the coast, which means I'll have coastal tiles like this in my city, but I won't be able to build ships because I'm away from the coast. I won't be able to improve those tiles with like a lighthouse or a harbor or something, and yeah, it's not good. You don't want to be like 1 tile away from the coast. That's a big no-no. Unless it's a really good spot. Okay. So where are we going, guys? It's kind of tricky to say. And I think you should spend a lot of time thinking about where to settle your capital city. I really want to get the pigs. I'm thinking about just doing something really simple and going here. That would destroy the floodplain. Now, floodplains are nice tiles, by the way. They're really nice tiles. They have 3 food and 1 gold, and they can be improved further. They are the best base yield tile to improve. However, each one adds an unhealthiness in the city. So you don't want too many of them, unless you're expansive, of course. If I settle on it, I actually destroy the floodplain. I get no extra bonus in my city's base yield. If you settle on a plains hill like this, or a resource, like the pig, you will actually have 3 food in your city if you settle on a pig. And if you settle on a hill, you will have 2 production instead of 1 on the city tile. If you settle on the gold mine, you will have 2 production and 2 commerce. If you settle anywhere else, you will just have 2 food, 1 hammer, and 1 commerce. Oh, another thing is, make sure you always turn on your what is this called? Tile yields. Yeah. Always have the yields on. Always have the resources on. I find them pretty useful. You can go to the wiki and, whoops, not that button. You can go to the Civlopedia thing here and, you know, check out the resources here, match the icon and figure out what they are exactly. You can, pig, okay, this is going to give me a lot of food, plus 3 food when I improve it. That's something I want to get. Gold is going to give me a ton of money when I mine it, and I only need mining for it. But mainly, when you're new to the game, you're going to see stuff like dye, and you're going to be like, what the hell's this? I can't improve it. What the hell's calendar? Where's calendar? Dye's not a good resource in the early game. Calendar takes ages to get, man. You got to go all the way over here. That's not happening for like 100 turns. And you're going to have like 5 cities by that point. So, yeah. Yeah, check what resources you have. Make sure you get the stuff you want. You want food. Simple food like animals and wheat and corn and rice and stuff like that. Alright, so I think I'm going to go here. Here I risk the chance of destroying fish here. I say destroy because I won't be able to settle a city over here to work it possibly. I don't want to do that. I want to keep the options open. I might also want to just put a city here anyway to use the pig if I have more food or if my capital doesn't need to grow anymore when it reaches the happiness limit. So I will go here. Oh, wow, we have gems. We're going to go worker first. So yes, if I went here, it would take 1 turn to move there, but then I would get the worker in 10 turns. Because I'm expansive, I would have been able to... work the forest, and that's 2 hammers. The city will have 2 tiles instead of 1, so that's a total of 4 hammers. And when you're expansive, for every 4 hammer, not food, only hammers, when you're building a worker, you gain an extra hammer. Now I can't use my expansive bonus in this city, because I am only size 1, and I can only work a 2 hammer tile, but I only get a total of 3 hammers that way, and I can't get the worker any faster. Now if there was a forest on this hill, that would actually be a 3 hammer tile. And I would be able to work that when my borders expand. And then I would actually get a 12-turn worker instead of a 15-turn worker. So that's how the expansive trait works. It gives you the potential to get quicker workers, and it can be really good. Alright. So that's a gem. Gems are really nice tiles. They're even better than gold, in my opinion. They give you 1 less commerce, but they have 2 food on them, because they're on the grass, like this tile. When you cut down the jungle, it'll have 2 food on it, and it'll have a hammer. So that'll be a 2, 1, 6 tile. The gold will be a 0, 3, 8 tile, I think. No, the gem will be 2, 1, 7. The river bonus is not showing because it's covered in jungle. So 2, 1, 7 versus 0, 3, 8. Gold gives a little bit more commerce, but it's really food is what you want, more than the hammers. You want like 2 hammers for every food in trade, ideally. That's kind of hard to say, but yeah. Okay, anyway. So we now have the option here. We could go for a warrior first, and I could wait until size 2 to get my worker. And then I would get the worker in 10 turns at size 2. So that would be an 18-turn worker. And honestly, that might be a better play than just trying to get him out as fast as possible. Because then I would be size 2, and it would speed up my development, although I'm not sure. "13-turn animal husbandry." How long would mining take? You want to calculate stuff. Okay, so 21 turns, I think. It'll be about 21 turns. Maybe less, because the bar is a bit shorter here and will overflow into mining. 20 turns. So will I be... So it'll take me 20 turns to get both animal husbandry and mining. And that means I'll be able to improve the pig and then mine the hills. I guess I can go improve the cow, to be honest. Maybe I'll do that. I'm just trying to work things out here. I can then mine all of these hills, or 3 of them, and that'll be pretty nice. Let me see here. So what I could do is, yeah, I could grow to size 2, build a warrior, grow in 8 turns, and then at size 2 I'll be able to work an additional tile. That's what happens when you grow your city. And that means I can work both of these tiles, and I'll have 4 hammers, and I'll get an expensive hammer, and then I'll have extra production from working more tiles, and the worker will come out very quickly in like 10 turns. So that's a net of 18 turns to get the worker. I'll be able to grow. But I don't think it's worth it. I think I'd rather get the worker out 3 turns earlier and start improving my tiles. My starting techs are pretty good. I can zoom around and improve my tiles pretty quickly and hook these resources up with just animal husbandry and mining. This is a nice spot. It's still got a lot of forest, by the way. Forests are important to have in your capital. The typical new player might want to save their forests because they give health and they look nice, but no, you want to chop them down. But you want to chop them down at the right point, at the right time. They can help you get your workers and settlers out much faster and really push your early game production a lot. So here's another thing about my move that's nice. I went north, away from the tundra. I moved toward the middle of the map, and I'm claiming more of the good land this way. No one's going to really bother me and try to settle down here. I can go here at any point I want. The directions I want to go are this way and this way, because we can see the waters here. So we're not going that way yet. This is the contested land, and this. But that'll be covered in jungle, so that's a bit difficult to get. But yeah, we're probably going to look at going this way. So our warrior is going to take a peek here, look at the water, maybe a peek here, see if there's fish or something worth getting. And then he's going to swing around and go to the right, I think. But anyway, let's start playing. Another thing you can do is, if you want to try hard, which is really important for high level play on Immortal and DD, you can wait 5 turns before picking your starting tech. It's a very good strategy to... You can like check out your surroundings and then decide what you want to go for. Like if you have a really early neighbor, you might want to just go straight to bronze working, find metal and kill them. If you have a really, really close neighbor that you meet super early. And delaying your research for 5 turns might really help you that way. But I think I'm obviously going animal husbandry first here, so it doesn't bother me too much. The other reason is if they have a tech that you don't have already, like say the wheel or mining, and they play a leader that starts with those, or they play on a difficulty that gives them those for free, you actually get a slight discount, like 5% on it, which is pretty nice. But that's not too important. We're going to go for animal husbandry naturally like this. No one will have that yet anyway, so yeah. Let's start playing. Been going too slow here. So you can press enter or spacebar to end your turn. Okay, well there's no fish here, so I could have gone right here, no problem. But that's okay. We will actually settle down here at some point. This is not bad. A lot of grassland river tiles and a floodplain and maybe sharing the cow. You can work with that, it's pretty good. Right. Sorry, someone came in my room. We're now going to move our warrior and take a peek at the north and then head to the east here. Ideally, a common you want to just look around your area in a circle, kind of. A common mistake is people go too far in one direction and want to go on an adventure, and it's a bad habit from playing with tribal villages on, honestly, as well. People just want to go out there and explore as much tiles as possible. Friggin' microphone fell, what the hell. Yeah, you just want to scout the surroundings, and then you want to hang around to stop any barbarians from appearing as well. But a bad habit people make is they just go out and explore in the middle of nowhere and then die, and then barbarians will be swarming around them and then kill them. Alright, so let's start going. Oh, wow, he's close. He's really close. So you know that turn 5 thing, that would have actually been relevant here. He's really close. He got here in 4 turns, and the AI doesn't play the first turn, so he got here in 3 turns. So 1, 2, 3. He's literally like right here. So this land here is very contested, and I want to almost definitely find a spot somewhere to the east here and claim it before he does. Okay, so yeah, the north is covered in jungle. That's okay. So we're about to hit turn 5, and this is where the animals spawn on this difficulty. I'm not sure if they spawn on lower difficulties at this time. They might though. So animals are going to start spawning now, and animals can kill you. You want to be careful where you go. For example, no matter what difficulty you play on, a bear is going to mess you up. Bears are pretty scary. Okay, so you see up here, this is full of resources, but you don't want to settle here just yet. It's covered in jungle, and you need ironworking to chop down jungle. You can't do anything with these tiles. They're 101 and a 2 food nothing, and a 1 tile. You know, you can't do anything with this until ironworking, and ironworking, you don't get that for a little while. So yeah, not the place you want to go straight away. It will be amazing later on, but not quite yet. Taking a peek, and then we're going to cut southeast now, doing a little circle around. We have to be careful. Panthers and stuff will be around in the jungle. They can bite us. I'll put on normal combat for a little bit. I'll turn up the sound a bit, it's a little quiet. Okay. Another guy. Okay, so you also have this thing called Espionage Screen. And this is who you put your points on. And I'm going to put my points on, direct my weight towards Ahsoka. I know from experience and also researching, he's a pretty good techer. In fact, he's very good at research. And if you put enough points on them, you'll be able to see their research. He's also not putting all these points on me. He only put +2 on me. I can put 4 on him, so I will eventually build enough points on him to see his research. And yeah, he's a pretty good researcher. We want to see what he's up to. He might be one of our more challenging rivals in the long run, but he's kind of peaceful, so he shouldn't attack us early, which is nice. Saladin, he's a religious guy. I will take a peek here and see what's going on a bit. Alright, more jungle. The hills are good, they give you double vision. You can see a lot of stuff. Haven't found India's border yet. That's Ahsoka, the first guy we met. Haven't found his border yet, so it looks pretty safe so far. Ah yes, they picked Islam. I bet you that was Saladin. Islam Arabia, yep. You'll see that pop up next to his name in a minute. There you go. So we found land here, but there's no real resources here, nothing to really claim. Bananas, another calendar one, and ironworking calendar's a while away. Maybe there's something down here I want to claim. But I have no reason to settle over here yet. It's looking pretty dull. Not much food around me. I have a nice capital, but not much around it. There's another guy.
Blessed shall be the fruit of thy cattle.
Oh, we have horses, and they're right there. I moved away from horses, but I got pigs, and pigs are better, honestly, so no regrets. We'll put a city down here later on that can get the horse and the cow and stuff, so that's okay. Probably want mining next for the hills and the gold and to get to bronze working. So let's talk about this AI. Ahsoka is a peaceful guy. He likes religion. And he's a very good researcher. He likes science and religion. He's a pretty good researcher for that reason. The religious AI tend to spread their religion around, and they build a building that gives them a large income per turn for every city that the religion is in, and that really helps their research because gold, you usually get gated behind gold and you're forced to produce gold later on when you settle more cities because of maintenance, and that kind of counters that and lets them research faster. Hammurabi is a peaceful guy, moderately peaceful guy. He's kind of mid-tier, but he's got a high peace weight, so he will like the other peaceful guys. And yeah, he can be a little aggressive. He's kind of mid-tier, but he likes the peaceful guys. Saladin is another mid-tier guy, and he's very emotional about his religion, you can say. He's in the middle of the peace weight, so he can like the peaceful people or he can like the aggressive people. He can like either of them. It depends on the religion, because he gets pretty upset if you aren't in his religion, but he'll be your best friend if you are in his religion. And we'll talk about like converting to religions and stuff a bit later. That's the little icon next to their name. So these two have two different religions. They are not going to like each other. You can see right here, worst enemy. That angry person icon with the angry face. He's annoyed towards Ahsoka. -3, upset about a heathen religion. Yeah. Ahsoka is not that bad about it, but maybe he'll get a bit more upset later on. There should be a setting here to show the... I want to see the numbers. Here we go. Some mod thing. Now I can see the -4 as well. So that's like the net attitude. So usually -3 they'll go annoyed. +3 they'll typically go pleased. Except these guys. I'm not sure what's going on here. +0 when they're pleased. Okay. Supposed to include the peace weight in the first impression, but alright. I don't know. There he is. Yep, I told you he'd be close. He's got gold as well. Yeah, he's already improved it. Very nice, bro. But there's nothing here I really want to grab, so it's kind of his loss if he comes this way. Okay, so here's a little trick you can do. It'll take me 1 turn to get to the pig, but I won't be able to do anything once I get to it. What I can do is I can go here, farm for a turn, cancel the farm, and then move on to the pig and improve it next turn. And basically I get a free 1 turn of a farm here. It'll remember that I put 1 turn into it forever, and I can go improve the pig next turn as if I moved 2 to get there. It's no different. But I got a free 1 turn of a farm, so it's kind of nice. It's more useful when you do that with roads. But I might farm that tile, who knows. It'll probably be a cottage, but yeah. Okay, we found a wolf. Wolves are pretty harmless. I want to see if there's something down here. Maybe there's a corn or a pig right here that I want to grab. Scouting is important. Now we pasture the pig. You want to always pick the correct improvement. You can mouse over the resources to see which improvements they require. +1 food, 2 hammers with pasture, so you want to build pasture on that. These regular tiles, you choose what you want to put on them, and yeah, that's where you need to kind of learn how things work. What's the best improvement to put on them? So if you don't have much food in your city, you will want to build farms. Not all farms, but you want to build a couple farms. Now, if I got good food, like the pig, which will be 6 food, I can afford to put cottages down. And cottages don't generate food, but they generate money. They're pretty good. Okay. I'm going to be a little conservative where I move. If I move right here, obviously the wolf will kill me, but there could be a bear right here that will just kill me if I go right there. I can go here and see these tiles anyway, as if I moved there because I'm on a hill. The wolf will get me, but nothing else will really harm me here, so that's a bit safer. We might go here with the city, but maybe a little bit later when I can actually use these tiles. Not sure if Ahsoka's going to come this way. He might, but I don't know, he might go over here. That's okay, as long as he doesn't come here in my face there. A wolf is going to attack us again. Wolves, oh, that one did a bit of damage, but we're okay. The wolves don't have much chance to kill you, although that one almost did. You can see his odds are 0.1% because they're only strength 1 versus a strength 2, and when you're attacking something that's twice as strong as you get pretty horrible odds. Okay, so when your food is improved, you want to make sure you work it. Turning on citizen automation is usually good. It'll work the best tiles available. That disappears when you click on a tile manually, so you need to remember to turn it on. You can tell if a tile is being worked by the big number, the big icons. The food on every other tile is small. The ones I'm working are big. So yeah. Also has a little house icon, I think. Yeah, that little house thing there. But yeah, we want that. That's 6 food. It grows us very quickly. And we're going to go for the cow next. The gold is good, but my commerce and research is fine. What I want is more food and more production. So we're going to go for the cow. And then I might do the gold after. Very important to focus on food and production first, and then commerce later. Okay, so yeah, our unit is wounded and we want to heal. Let's talk about the city screen then. So this is your city screen. You access this by double clicking on a city. You can double click anywhere, including that bar, or just on the city itself, or on the flag to get to your capital city. Here you can rename the city if you want to. You choose what tiles you want to work by clicking them and clicking them again, or just clicking them like that, but then it will only move the weakest tile to which one you're clicking on. You have to click off of one to gain a citizen, then you click on one to use the citizen. There's a lot of stuff going on here, and for anyone who's never seen this, it's probably pretty overwhelming. This is your food. The orange bar is food, that's your growth. Every time that bar fills, you grow another size. When you grow another size, you get another one of these dudes and you can work multiple tiles. This is your production bar. When this bar finishes, whatever you're trying to build will finish. We're building a warrior right now to get additional defense and be able to scout more. Yeah, so when that bar finishes, you get the warrior. You can work more hammers to speed it up. You can check your hammers per turn here, which is 3, because 1, 2, and then 3. Here we only have 1, just from the base production. Ideally, you want to grow first and then work hammers once you're done growing, but sometimes you might need to rush to get stuff out at the right time. We have culture here, and culture is another thing you want to check on. That's when your city is going to expand borders and claim more land. The next time I expand, I will gain these tiles, this tile, these 3 tiles, this tile, these 3 tiles, the horse, and these tiles, but I won't be able to work them. Remember what I said with that big fat cross. So they will be in my border, but I won't be able to use them in terms of growing or production or commerce. They will just be there, and that's good if it's a resource like horses. I will be able to use the horses to build stuff, but I won't be able to work the horse tile, which will have 2 food, 3 hammers, and a gold, which is a pretty nice tile. Won't be able to use that. So we might want to settle a city down here, which will be within the big fat cross, to use the horse and maybe take the cow for some food. That's the idea. Okay, let's keep going. What else is in here? Buildings, you can see the list of buildings you build. Here is trade routes, they will show up a bit later. They give you extra money, pretty much. You can see your sliders here, research, spy points, +4 from having the palace, and gold. So if I turn down my research, it automatically gives me gold. But it rounds it down. You see, 1.8 is just 1, so ugh, not ideal. What else? Specialists, this is how you generate great people. Even tells you what building they require, but we'll get to that a bit later, probably in another video. And happiness and unhappiness, and healthiness and unhealthiness. Okay, so the good ones are on the left, that's your health and happiness. And you can, you know, health, we get +2 from fresh water, being next to a river, +3 from the forests, which we might cut down and lose. +2 from being expansive, that's nice, and +2 from difficulty level, which is just your default starting health, and you might get more from that for playing on a lower level. And yeah, that's your health. So when you become unhealthy, you will gain a food penalty, and it'll slow down your growth, which is not the end of the world, but it's a bit annoying. Now your happiness is a lot harder to control, and it's a lot more annoying when it gets out of hand. You only have 6 happiness, and that's with being charismatic, which gives me the +1 happiness because that's my trait, right? +1 happiness per city, and plus another happiness from monuments. So yeah, happiness we have 6 right now, but when we become unhappy, our citizens will refuse to work. So if I was unhappy, I wouldn't be able to do anything. It would look like this. I wouldn't be able to use the pig, and it would slow down my growth completely, or I wouldn't be able to use the gold mine or whatever. And that's really, really bad. You lose an entire tile's worth of production. So that's not just 1 food from unhealthiness. That could be 3 or 6 food, you know. So that's bad. You don't want to be unhappy if you can avoid it. And yeah, there are ways to improve your happiness, like being charismatic and building monuments. Resources will give happiness. You can see the gold, +1 happiness, research mining to use the gold. The gems will give me happiness when I mine them later with ironworking. The dye will also give happiness, the silk, but yeah, you have to claim those resources and improve them. And dye and silk takes a while.
The man who moves the mountains begins by carrying away small stones.
So we won't finish that farm. We're going to go straight to the cow because 3 food, 3 hammers is probably better than 4 food. Because I already have 6 food anyway. We're not hurting for food that badly. And I think we go straight for bronze working so we can find copper. And the ability to chop down forests. Now copper is a key resource that gives us better units. Gain access to axemen and spearmen, which are 4 or 5 strength as opposed to the 2 strength warrior, which is this guy right here. You can see 2 strength. And it's 1.4 right now because he's heavily wounded. And copper will help us build better units. It's also a nice tile to work, and we want to grab copper if we can, because barbarians are going to spawn around about now. They're going to be wandering around, and eventually at turn 50 or so, they will come in our territory and try to attack us. The lower level you play, the less dangerous the barbarians are, the less they spawn, you get bonuses against them, and the later they will attack your cities. But the higher level you play, the worse they get. And on deity, which is the highest level, they are an absolute nightmare. So yeah, that's good to know. So you can see our city's now grown, and we get to work 2 tiles. So now we're getting the 3 food tile and the 6 food tile. However, we don't just get 9 food per turn. We have to also pay food to support the extra growth. You'll see here it's -4. Well, it minuses this 2 food as well for size 1, I guess. But it's like it adds a -2 here. You can see next to the 11 -4. So I have 11 food, right? 6, 3, and 5. 6, 3, and 2. That's 11. -4. It's giving me a net of 7. So that tile is still giving me, growing onto that tile still gives me a net of an extra food and helps me grow even faster. So that's kind of nice. We're going to go improve that. So basically you want, when you're growing, if you want to keep growing, you want to grow onto 2 food tiles or higher to maintain your growth rate or even increase it. You don't want to grow and then start working tiles like this if you want to keep growing, because you will only have 5 food, and when I was only size 1, I would have 6 food. So working these tiles would slow me down effectively. But I'm working a good tile here. I'm going to automate it so I don't forget to work the cow as soon as it's done, and yeah. We're healing here, and then we're going to take a peek at the tundra, although maybe that's not a good idea, I might die there. Yes. But we're going to go there anyway, because I'm brave. I want to get into that forest here and take a look at what's going on. Let's finish healing though, maybe that's a good idea. And so these people, you can see the city count. The AI on this difficulty level do expand pretty fast, and they're even faster on the next difficulty level. We're on second highest. And you can see they have 2 cities already. That's the number next to their name. It means they have 2 cities. You can control left click on them and check this yourself without the mod. And if they have a city up for trade here that they'll never give, but if it shows up here, that means that's their second city. The capital city will never show up because they lose the game if they trade their capital, obviously. But the second city and any others after that will always show up here. So you count the cities showing up here +1, and that's how many cities they have. And you access this by control left clicking on their names. And that's kind of nice to see what's going on there. You can also check if they're plotting war by control left clicking and mousing over this. If it ever says we have enough on our hands right now, that means they're planning to kill someone, and that's where we have to be careful and take action potentially. Fortunately, with the bug mod, it will just show a red fist icon and make it easier for you, so you don't have to check that every single turn. This guy is 2.0 out of 2, he's healed enough. I'm going to go into that forest now, and I'm going to see what's down here. Nothing except ice. Okay, so barbarians might actually be an issue because there's a lot of tundra and ice. And no one's going to put cities down here, so what do you think's going to happen? Bad guys are going to spawn in the dark areas, just like in every game you play. Got the cow, and we're already size 3 now, growing even faster now. We're at +8 per turn, because I'm on a 3 foot tile and another 3 foot tile, so we're just growing faster and faster and faster. But eventually I'm going to have to stop when we become unhappy. I think I will grow all the way until size 4 and then build a settler. When I start building workers and settlers, your city actually cannot grow, so that's something to keep in mind. That's a good time to stop your growth, because you don't want to just grow forever. You want to work hammers and commerce at some point, and that's what the gold mine is going to be for. I'm going to get one more warrior out first. I want one more warrior to scout and maybe stop the barbarians from spawning. I think I'll take a peek here. Maybe I'll go here. But I want to fortify down here somewhere and fight off the barbarians so they don't enter my borders and leave me alone. I will put a city down here, but maybe not yet. It's, yeah, not the best spot because it's lacking resources outside of the city and that. We want to settle cities with food, like... Except there's no food anywhere except in my city. It's kind of awkward, isn't it? Maybe there's something over here. So we'll go check. I could go here to scout. That's not really necessary. I will just go here, and then when I get to the hill, I will see all those tiles I would have seen. Could be like a barbarian archer at this point right there that wants to kill me, and I get a better bonus if I'm on a hill in a forest. You can see on the bottom left it says defense bonus 75%. In the forest I only get 50%, so this is a better defensive spot. So I want to avoid risking my guy's life if I can. That's the idea. Okay, it's so far so good. I will be greedy and take a peek over here, and then go back on the hill, I think. Okay, it's working this tile. You see, the city's decided it wants to kind of slow down its growth now because we're out of good tiles to work. Also wants to get the warrior out and get me hammers and commerce. I think it's fine. He's got a point. I'm going to stop growing anyway next turn once this warrior finishes and start a settler. And all that surplus food will turn into hammers when I'm building a settler, which is pretty nice. Improve the gold, and it works the gold. Okay, so you see here, we're now building a settler. I'm not growing. The growth has been put to 0. All the food has been directed into the settler. I'm only at +6 food per turn because I grew again. I require 2 more food to sustain that, but I'm not working any food. I'm working the gold mine, which is fine. I still have +6 per turn, and that's what I started with, so I can still grow pretty fast if I wanted to. But I want to build the settler. So all that extra food is being directed into the settler. So now I'm at 6 + 8. Now one of that 8 is from overflow from the warrior, so it's actually 7. So I have 13 production per turn towards the settler's 100. If you divide 100 by 13, you know, you get around 8 turns, and that's what's happening here. Okay, we found something. A deer. Not a great resource, but it's okay. It's a little bit like the cow. It's a 1-2, and when I put a camp on it, it'll be a 3-2. Not as good as the cow, but it's not terrible. It's something. I think I will go back on the hill, though. That's not something I want to claim immediately. And this is what I mean. They're already here, the bad guys. And they are stronger than you when you play on high levels. The bad guys are already stronger than you. They are an archer. Archers are better than warriors. They are strength 3 and they have a first strike. And I'm only a 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move into the forest hill here and get a 75% bonus. Also, we found Hammurabi's second city here, already claiming the land. So we're kind of getting boxed in already. It's not nice, and I don't have too much good land to work with here. It's a bit difficult, if I must say. I will want to go here, probably, even though I can't use that. It won't be my first city, but maybe my next one will go up here, because I want to claim what I can get, and I need resources, I need food, I need land. I want to get something, you know. This is not what I want here. Okay, but yeah, we have a decent chance of killing him here. He's also attacking across a river, which gives him a penalty, so I actually have a 100% bonus in total, making me a 4 versus a 3. Now, there's no guarantee. I only get like 70% odds here, so let's pray we kill him. Whoa, that was close. Yeah, 0.3. We did it. Yeah, he had 26% chance, so I had about 73.3 to win. Oof. Tough. Now I'm going to stay here, and they won't be able to spawn anywhere in here. So we're going to talk about fog busting now. Let's look at that combat. Yeah, my warrior went down to 15 health. Jeez. Okay, so your units fog bust. What does that mean? They stop spawns from happening in an area around them. That area is a 5x5 square with them being the center of it. Very similar to this. Except it also includes the corners, so it's an actual square, not a cross. Barbarian units cannot spawn in that area, so you're stopping spawns altogether. This is called fog busting. You want to do this, especially on higher levels, to avoid barbarian archers like that guy, which are very dangerous. If you're unlucky, you would have lost that fight, and then he might come in a bit later and smash your stuff or take your city. So you want to fog bust with your warriors and stop them from spawning. You pick a nice spot like a forested hill. You can fortify here, heal up, get the bonus. You also get a fortify bonus, gain 5% every turn you stay in a tile. So I will have 125% in this tile. Well, maybe not if they don't attack across the river, but I'll have at least 100%. I also won some fights against the wolves and got a promotion here, which gave me 20% forest defense. So I will have a lot of bonuses in here, and those archers will only have like a 15% chance to actually kill me. And that's pretty good. So I'm stopping them from spawning, and any ones that do spawn outside of it and walk in will most likely die. We'll want a guy down here too. This area is dangerous. Okay, I am now ready to do stuff. I could build a mine, but in reality, I want to get my settler out, I think. I have the commerce to support it because I have a gold mine, and gold mine is a huge amount of money, which means you can afford cities no problem and still research. If you don't have a gold mine, you want to be careful with how you expand, how quickly you expand, where you expand. But I have a gold mine. I'm just going to claim the best spot I can. I want to check here for fish, to be honest, but I don't think I'll go that way just yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go chop away the forest. Where would be my first city? Maybe here. It's not great, but it would claim land at least. Yeah, I'm not too sure. We'll see in 3 turns where the copper is. I'm going to go chop my forest down, and then in 3 turns I will see if there's copper anywhere, and then I'll make a decision. Maybe down here to use that and that. I could also put a farm on that and give it to that city. Won't be too bad. We heal here. Oh, I don't have bronze working yet. Shit, I messed up. I thought I already had it, but no. Oh, that's a mistake. That's awkward. Okay, so what I should have done is paid attention to bronze working and gone and mined here for like 2 turns and then moved into the forest, but I thought I already finished it for some reason and moved into the forest like an idiot. It's kind of too late now, because now I need to go back into the forest to chop next turn. But yeah, I could have done 1 turn of a mine there. Alright, we got another guy here, but we're fortified here. Healing, fortifying, we should be okay. So where's the copper?
It is entirely seemly. A young man killed in battle, lie mangled by the
Nowhere to be found. That's kind of awkward.
all things appear fair.
Alright, now I chop my settler, belatedly. Probably want the wheel and pottery to get more research next. And yeah, don't need that there. Maybe there would be okay. And maybe here. These grassland tiles are tolerable because you can farm them and get 3 food like this tile, and 3 food, as you see, is enough to grow the city faster and faster if you keep working them. If I work 3 food tiles at size 3, I'll actually have a net gain of 5 food per turn. Usually you want about 4 or 5 food per turn in a regular city early on, maybe a bit more later on. But early on, 4 or 5 per turn is enough, and you know, with 2 grassland farms I can get 4 food per turn, because that'll be 6 minus 2, which is 4. 2 for the one size, and if I have 3, that's 9 minus 3, no, it's 9 minus 4, which is 5. So these spots are okay, but they're not great. I'll settle here, nice and close, because claiming the tundra really doesn't do much unless there's a resource here, but I can go down there later. I'll settle nice and close. I think I will go this one first because it can share resources, and I can work stuff like cottages in my capital while this city takes the cow or the gold or whatever. And yeah, we're gonna go for the wheel and get to pottery next. Oh, we got guys here. Okay, I'm gonna need to move this guy out. I'm not gonna have happiness issues yet, so I should actually move him out. And we're going to try to make sure this area is safe to settle in. The barbarians won't come in just yet for a little while, but they are hanging around. As you can see, there's warriors and archers and all sorts of crap running around. So yeah, right here. And I'm immediately going to go straight for another worker. Because I want a worker to help the new city, and I want a worker to help my capital. And I'm going to go and farm this tile to give this guy more food. And that'll be pretty nice. Now you'll see here, the automatic thing. The game's actually smart enough to realize I'm expansive. So what it's done is it's actually working the hammer instead of 3 food. Now you might think, you know, 2 food, 1 hammer, that's the same as 3 food. But this one has a gold, so it's better. Yes, that is true. Except I'm expansive. Now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hammers. This will give me the 8th hammer. And remember, every 4 hammers we get an extra one. So I get 2 extra hammers for being expensive here. Base production 8, plus 25% for expensive leader. It'll give me 2 more. And yeah, bam. Now, if I work that, I'm only getting 6 plus 23, which is 29. If I work that, I'm getting 5 plus 25, which is 30. So yeah, the extra hammer works. 8 hammers, 2 extra hammers. 7 hammers, only 1 extra hammer. Good thing to know. Even though it doesn't get the worker 1 turn faster, it'll... And that's because of overflow. I'm only getting extra hammers this turn from overflow. But the expansive bonus will function the whole time. So when this worker finishes, if I have hammers left over, it'll be directed into something else. They get stored. It's called overflow. So yeah. Alright, we're going to go farm this one now. I don't need to move here. There could be a wolf here if I'm really unlucky, and that could eat me. So we'll wait. Wolves and stuff can't enter your territory, but they'll pick off stray settlers, which is another reason to send your warriors out. Even on a low difficulty, there might not be these barbarian archer dudes walking around, but there's going to be wolves and lions. They'll still eat your settler if it's unescorted running around like an idiot. So it's good to build warriors and do this even on low levels.
Put your shoulder to the wheel.
Rather than using these, we're going to use X. Bit less clutter visually. Here's New York. It's not a great city, really, at the moment. It's gonna do its job, though. It's nice and close. And it'll share some tiles and help me develop my capital. Okay, here's the thing. The worker's going to be 2 turns, no matter what. Well, it doesn't really matter all that much. Yeah, we're going to have a large amount of overflow. Oh, that's because I forgot to work. Yeah, see, here's the expansive difference. 2 turns, that 1 extra hammer gets you that worker faster. That's expansive for you. Well, getting the worker faster means I can mine or road 1 turn faster, and that makes a big difference. Now, let's look at our research. What are we doing here? Naturally, the game would bump you down to 80%, and you would get 15 research per turn. The advanced way to do this with professional thinking is to put it down to 0%, and the mod has these buttons that raise it straight from 100 to 0 for you conveniently. When you're at 0, you gain 16 gold per turn. When you're at 100, you gain 19 research per turn minus 3 gold per turn, so net of 16. When you're at 80%, you only get 15. When you're at 60%, you only get 11 plus 4, 15. That's because it rounds down. 6.8 gold? No, it's only going to give me like 6 gold. It rounds down. And yeah, that kind of sucks. So you want to try not to waste a gold if possible. It also, putting it down to 0 for a couple turns, gives you the opportunity to reconsider what you want to research, and you might change your mind. You might go, you know what, I don't need pottery. I want to go fishing because I found fish or something. Or writing, or sailing, or masonry, or something like that. Because you found something in those couple turns you have it down. And that can be really useful. So you want to save up enough money, but you don't want to keep it down forever. I'm going to gain 16 gold per turn, and when I put it up, I get pottery in 4. So I only need to put it down for 1 turn. You need to do a little bit of quick math, so you don't waste too much time. Now I put it up, and I'll be able to get pottery in 4, minus 3 per turn. I only need 12 gold to get pottery in 4 turns, right? So, yeah. We're now going to work this good tile again. Yep. Okay, so this guy's doing the farm here. We also want a road to connect our cities, and we're going to get this thing called trade routes if we do that. So we're going to go ahead and do that. It doesn't matter which one of these tiles are road. I need to basically build a road from Washington to New York somehow. I can build a road like that, or I can just build a straight line down. And I want to road my improvements, honestly, so I can actually get the improvement. I don't actually have the cow in my city because there's no road. I do get the gold because the gold is on the river, and the river technically counts as a road for trading resources. Okay, this warrior is going to go on this hill here and be a bit of a lookout, so I have some warning if a threat is coming. Yeah, we got one guy here. Now that's only a warrior, he's not too dangerous. If I go in the forest with a 50% bonus, he has almost no chance to kill me. And we're going to start roading. We're going to road here and here. Road up our resource, and that'll also connect the two cities. So I get 2 in 1 for the road. That's pretty nice. Now I don't have the horses yet, but my capital will pop borders soon. Because it has the palace, generating 2 from the start. So 10 turns I will actually get the horses within the capital's borders. But because this city can actually work it, this city will automatically take that tile and be able to use the horses and work it for the good yield I get when I improve it. Okay, to be honest, I really am curious and I want to go look to the left here. I saw Cyrus's archer wandering around here, so that can kind of protect me a bit. I want to see if there's something worth getting here, because this is okay, but it's a bit dull by itself, especially in the middle of the ice. But if there's something good here, like another resource, then I will go down there. And that's where scouting comes in really important. You, however, are just going to stay right there. So we're going to look over here, like we might find a fish in the water, which will be good to get. Who knows, man. Finishing a warrior here. Now I want to... Okay, he's just wandering around. He won't come in yet until everyone has 3 cities. That's the typical time the barbarians enter, is when the average number of cities between players, the player and the AI, is 3. There's still some guys on 2 cities, including me, and no one's at 4, so the average is below 3. They won't come in yet. So we're still okay. And I'm going to send a warrior out here to stop them from spawning here. And that's going to be my next city anyway, so I want to have a guy out there, although I do want to go here too. Although I need iron working for that, so that's a bit... I don't know, man. Something like... here would be really nice later on, but not so strong early on. If I go here, I can actually use the forest and these bare tiles a bit, so maybe I want to do... maybe I want that instead, but I risk losing that if someone else puts a city here. We'll have to think about that.
Hath not the potter power over the clay to make one vessel unto honor and another...
Alright, there's incense and that's about it. It's kind of sad. Not really what you want. Okay, so we got the road finished. Next turn it'll detect that I have... when I press end turn, it'll detect my trade routes and boost my research or money a little bit. I'll get commerce for each city connected, which is +2. Because neither of these cities were connected, and now they're both connected to each other. So I will get 2 commerce for free for having that road there. Okay, now I did say the river counts as a road, but if the river goes outside of your borders, it no longer counts as a road. I could road here and here. Because I have the river going to the road, and then the road going to the city, that would count as a connection if I just roaded these 2 tiles instead of these 2. So you could do that, but it's just easier going here like that. And then I can actually use the road to move faster. That's what roads also do. And okay, these guys are getting close to me. What the hell, man? Now, what technology do I want? Well, we have fishing already. Although there's no fish. There might be up here, but that's a bit optimistic. We don't have any copper. We might actually want to get some defense from barbarians. So we might just go straight to archery. Because I don't want to die. We have ice here. A lot of barbarian archers are going to spawn, and guess what? The barbarians actually get better units. They get spearmen and axemen later on, and you can't defend from those with warriors only. And if you go archery, that's just the safe defensive route, and I can afford to go archery because I have a gold mine and I can get there very, very quickly, so it's not an issue. And I think archery would be pretty sensible. I don't need writing or anything like that just yet. I need defense, and I want to expand without getting punished for expanding, so archery would be nice. We're going to save money and then go straight for archery. You see here I got plus 19 gold instead of 17 now, and that's because the trade routes are now showing up. This is a trade route. Now domestic trade routes between your empire give you like 1 gold. However, if you rode into somebody else and get trade routes from them and then open borders, you will get better trade routes that give you more money. And then there's certain technologies you can research or wonders you can build to improve your trade routes. For example, Great Lighthouse. This will give you +2 trade routes in all coastal cities, and that can really make you a lot of money and research. Trade routes are nice because they give you commerce. You can choose what to do with commerce however you want. You can direct it towards research to research faster. You can put it into spy points if you want to spy on somebody. Don't do that, it's not good early on especially. Or you can put it down into gold by having both at 0 and it'll turn it into gold, and that's okay too. When you want to build gold to research like I just did. Not finding any fish, it's a bit disappointing. There's 2 more tiles here that there could be a fish on, so we're going to check that. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not going there for quite a while. Now, this will be an okay spot later on because I can go like here, I can farm this tile, it's next to the river, and then I can farm more tiles later on when you get a technology that allows you to spread farms. It'll actually be a pretty decent city later, but not yet. So it's not a priority. It's also, no one's going to really go down there in the middle of the ice. It looks like the continent ends here, and I have as much time as I want to fill it out, although it's not great land, so meh. We're going to go here, and alright, he's got a 3rd city right here. So he's kind of coming towards me like a little punk, and I want to go here and stop that. So yeah, that's exactly where this next settler is going to go.
What's the plan?
What is the plan? Well, New York is doing okay. I also got pottery, so I'm able to put down cottages now to get more money. And we now want to probably split our workers and have 1 worker in each city. So I will want to build a mine here for some hammers, and that mine can be worked in both cities. And what's the nice thing is, my capital's going to pop borders in 6 turns. So when I finish the mine, I'll be just about time to get to the horse and improve the horse for this guy. So that's kind of nice. I can do 2 in 1 there. Also need to build a road to use the horse, just like any other resource. I don't have the pig, by the way. I need a road on the pig, and then I need a road to the river to actually get the pig. Okay, so we're going to go here and give this guy a cottage. You're going to stay right here, although this area looks a little less dangerous now, because their borders technically also stop barbarians from spawning. Whatever tiles they see, which is most of these, he will see this. Okay, this tile might not be visible, but... or this one. These 2 tiles won't be visible by anyone if I walk away. I'm kind of calculating here because I know how the vision works. Whichever tiles are not visible by borders is possible for barbarians to spawn. There'll be 2 tiles here that... 3. 4 that barbarians can spawn. So yeah, we want to probably hang around a bit. Just a little bit. And then I want to go over here a bit later and check out that. I want to keep producing settlers. Now what New York is going to do is get me a worker real quick, because I need workers. So we're going to go straight for a worker here. And guess what? I'm going to do something big brain and take the gold mine here. And guess what? Expansive should really speed that up. Bam, 9 turns. Because of expansive. Because I'm expansive, guys. Now losing the gold mine here doesn't do anything. That's a 3 hammer tile, that's a 1 for 2 hammer tile. That's the same thing. It's not going to slow the settler down at all because there's no expansive bonus on the settler. You only get that if you're imperialistic, which gives you a hammer bonus to settlers. But I lose nothing in the capital. But this, it actually helps this city to work the hammers. So that's kind of nice. I could also do this, get the settler in 5 turns, but get the worker in like 6 turns here. And maybe I want to do that, because I'm also mining this tile, and that'll give me an extra little bit of hammers here. And getting the worker that much faster might be beneficial. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. 1 turn slower on the settler, but 4 turns faster on the worker. That sounds pretty good to me. You want 1 worker per city on average, but that can change. Depends on the land. If you're inland, yeah, you're going to need workers. If you're on the coast, you need less workers. You need to build workboats to get fish, which is a bit different. If we can get a fish, I can explain how that works, but I'm not getting any luck on finding any fish in the waters. They're very obvious when you see them.
If you chase 2 rabbits, you will lose them both.
You'll see here I stopped building that warrior, and that's because... ooh, we don't want to do that. What about that? Oh, we can do that. I stopped building the warrior because I want to build the worker at size 2. The warrior will save its hammers for 10 turns. After 10 turns or so, the warrior starts to lose its hammer. You'll see here we'll lose a hammer in 9 turns now. And yeah. But you get 10, so I will finish the work in 5 and then I'll resume building the warrior and I won't lose any hammers. So what I'm going to do here now, I want to work the cottage to get even more research, and that will only delay the worker by 1 turn. I'm still getting expansive, I'm working a really good tile here. So I will now go and take this tile in the capital. That doesn't really speed up the settler, but that's okay. I get to work the cottage now, and yeah, that's good. Now I've got the mine done, and that will give me more hammers in here. It won't quite finish the settler. What if I do that? No, it still won't quite finish it because I didn't work that the other turns. So it hasn't built up enough, which is fine. Okay. New settler is going to go over here. I need a road. So let's get started on that. I'm hanging around here to stop spawns. My capital's going to expand borders next turn. We'll start on the road. Next turn I can start on the horse. Look, he's got Immortals. That's his unique unit, which is a better chariot. So he's already got horses hooked up. You see the AI go fast on this difficulty level. You start at a disadvantage, so you can only really catch up by playing well. Archery. Of course, it's the AI. They do dumb stuff. Okay, so another religion has been founded, which is the third one, which is almost definitely monotheism. Good to know. By having this road here, I can actually get my settler to the desired tile 1 turn faster. I will finish the road next turn, then the settler will be able to go straight here on the road. If there was no road, he would have to stop here. Well, if I didn't have a road here. He will get to this tile regardless, if I have a road here or not. But I want a road here anyway for the trade routes. Okay, I can decide if I want to jump down and improve the horse, but here's the thing. If I do that, I have to spend another turn going on the hill because there'll be no road on the hill, and the hill will stop you. Hills and forests stop your movement. I should have said that, but yeah. So, I will finish the road because it's only 1 turn away, and then I can go down here, road it, and then come back without wasting a turn to get back up the hill because it'll have a road connecting to it. If that makes sense. We're going to go for mysticism because I want to get some culture in my empire now. Oh, and here they come. Yep, we're at an average of 3 cities. I'm at 2, but these guys are at 4 already. So we're in strife here. I have a good shot at killing that guy. However, I don't feel safe, so I want more hammers, like that. We're gonna do this. Oh, man. I'm gonna have to slow this worker down by 1 turn. I want the archer. 1, 2, yeah. I need. If I lose this fight, I could lose that city. The warrior is not a guarantee. So what I'm going to do is I'm switching my tiles around to get that archer in 1 turn. So if he wins here, he will be here. And then I can move my archer here. And then he moves here toward my city, and I put the archer in the city. And archers get a huge bonus in a city. 50% city defense. You get also extra bonuses defending against barbarians in a city. Barbarian city defense. He'll also be crossing a river. So his chances will be pretty grim. But if I defend with a warrior, oh boy, that's like taking a 50-50 on losing your city. So you don't want to really risk your city's life on a 50-50 like that. So that's not really good play. So we're going to slow our development down to make sure we're safe. Very important. This is why we go archery. These guys are dangerous. If he wins, I'm in trouble. Well, I won't be because I have an archer, but you know, I could lose this. Just like this. Just like that. Exactly. And that is why I built the archer quickly. Now he's going to heal. He's going to come in and he's going to hurt me if I don't do something. So yeah, let that be a good demonstration on how to defend yourself. Okay, this city is not great, but it has some grassland tiles to work. It claims resources. I will just build farms for now. I want another archer to feel safe, but I also want to... Oh, I'm getting the worker regardless. I think I'll take the expansive tile though, and I'll give you the food because you can now grow to size 6 most likely. I will need a warrior, but this guy can finish the warrior and put the warrior here. So you want a unit in each city for happiness, otherwise you get a unhappiness penalty. I'll actually be able to grow up to size 7 if I put a warrior in here, but you see here, we fear for our safety, we demand military protection because there's no unit in the city. So I will finish the warrior here and send him here for happiness. Now that unhappiness penalty gets worse the higher your city size is. At size 1 and 2 you don't really feel it, so you don't necessarily need a unit in a size 1 or 2 cities. But I kind of want an archer here to defend myself, because that guy is coming in, as you can clearly see. And you know what's nice? Because I built the worker with the expansive cow, the expansive bonus from working the cow, and I had a lot of overflow, I can actually finish this warrior in 1 turn. So if that guy gets really lucky, and look at this bastard, he promoted to cover, so he has 25% against archery units. So he thinks he can have a shot at me. What a little punk. He's promoting to counter my archer. However, I'm getting a warrior as well, so even if he wins the archer, he should be very badly wounded and my warrior can clean him up. So there's like no room for bullshit here. And losing that fight on the forested hill there was really unlucky already. 26%, but those happen. That's 1 and 4. So he won that. Yeah, no problem. I was expecting that, kind of. So yeah, we're prepared for it. Now we'll see how he does against the city, and let's see. Now I have archers. Whoa, he wounded me, but not quite enough. Punk. Yeah, look at that, 2% chance. Because I have an archer in a city across a river defending from barbarians. Yeah, that's he did promote to cover units, so I do lose 25% because he promoted anti-archer units. This is how the combat works. It like cancels out the bonuses. So the fact he promoted to cover cancels out the river bonus, so I'm just stuck with 75%. He also had combat 1. He got 2 promotions from killing my warrior because he got lucky. He got 5 XP. Stupid bastard. Yeah, the game rewards you for getting lucky, pretty much. That's the idea. So we're going to heal this archer, and then I'm actually going to move the archer out onto the hill. And an archer on a hill in a forest is like impossible to kill because they actually get an extra hill defense bonus here. You see 25% hills defense in addition to the natural bonus you get. So you get 100% bonus in a forested hill, and that puts you at a 6, which is enough to defend from barbarian axes and spears that come later on. So yeah, there's your defense for you. Okay, so now we have a pretty nice tile here. I'm actually going to reconfigure a bit. We can use the horse in here. I'll have to sacrifice a cottage for a moment, but that allows me to work this lovely plains cow here. And yeah, I don't need the cottage too badly now. My commerce is pretty awesome, and we're going to go for riding next. Riding will allow us to open borders and get trade routes from our allies here, or our fellow civs, and yeah. Okay, so they've expanded borders. I'm pretty sure they're fog busting this area. No barbarians will spawn here. They have vision of this hill, and any tile adjacent to their border they'll also be able to see. Also have vision of that hill, so it's impossible for anything to spawn here. I want to move my warrior over here because I'm thinking of putting a city here to claim the gems particularly, and this. Now I can still put a city here which can work the gems and still claim it, but I would like some food and some dyes with it too maybe, so we're going to try to go up there. I'm going to grow to size 6, get this archer out. We're going to put this warrior... I want another warrior, to be honest. I want another warrior, now that I think about it. I want 1 warrior in here, 1 warrior in here, and then I want my archers to go outside and fend off. I want my warrior in here for happiness. Because I'm going to actually become unhappy here. You might stay 7 while you can grow 1 more size, but no, that military protection thing will actually go to +2. And then it's too crowded will also go up another +1. So I'm going to have 8 unhappiness next time when I grow to size 6, which is going to be too much, and it's going to screw me up. So I know this based from experience, but yeah, okay, we got another guy here. However, my archer's already healing. I think I'll still put the warrior in. That archer will just have to sit there for a turn, and that's okay. I was planning to move the archer out. That's why I wanted the warrior there. If you can understand what I'm doing here. But yeah, I will put the warrior here for a bit of extra defense. It's very unlikely a warrior can kill my archer in a city, but because my archer is wounded, it's not impossible. So I'm going to be careful. Also, these workers should be farming the same tile. That's kind of a mistake. It's better to improve one tile fast than to improve two at the same time. Holy crap, man. They are really coming for me. Yeah, wow. Reinforcements. Let's go. And yeah, I become unhappy, but I don't have a choice, man. I'm going to die. I'm a bit scared. These guys want to kill me. It's because I don't have anyone fog busting. A guy just spawned here and walked in. They might even smash my cottage, which would kind of suck, but not really much I can do. Yeah, barbarians. Yeah, no chance. Even though I'm wounded. 0.4 still. Going to promote to combat because I plan to take him out of the city. Now I can choose if I want to save my cottage by trying to fight him, which is only 50-50, which is not a good odds at all. Or I just let him smash that and then we'll see what happens. I think I just have to let him smash it, unfortunately. And I'm going to move my warrior back to suppress the unhappiness here, and I'm going to put my two archers on the front line like so. Unfortunately, I can't finish the farm here because this guy will just kill my worker, so that's a no-no. We're going to move our workers elsewhere, and we're going to go chop the forest here to get the settler a little bit faster. And I might even do a double chop, because I can finish... if I have too much hammers, I can put it into a granary or even a library at this point. Speaking of libraries... and writing, which is coming soon, we're going to start making a road into our dear friend here. Do that for one turn. I'm going to road here, here, and then I'll have open borders and road into him. So I'm getting ready for that. Let's hope he attacks the city and dies, and yeah. Nope, he's going to smash my tile like a little bastard. I can't do anything about that, unfortunately. But what I can do is move my guy out to fog bust and stop more guys from spawning. You go in here to fix the unhappiness, which actually speeds up the settler now, which is kind of nice. We're going to double chop here. And you are going to road into our dearest friend right here. You can start on a granary because I want to keep growing here, and granaries are really good buildings. I talked about them earlier, but they store 50% of the food after growing. So when you grow, you immediately go back to half and can grow twice as fast. It's pretty awesome to get those. You want them early on. Now I need to switch into slavery at some point. And the best time to do slavery is when your settlers are running around and you don't lose a turn in that city. Your units can still move while you're in anarchy from switching civics, but your cities won't function in that turn. Okay, now he's going to attack me. And he got wrecked, because I'm in a city. And he had 0.8. But we're going to push out a bit and try to stop them from bothering me now. That was unfortunate what happened there, but yeah. Good thing I went archery is all I can say. I would have died if I did not research archers. They can easily take a warrior in a city. Archer in a city is a different story though. We got writing, so now we can open borders. And they'll be able to move units through my territory to look around and stuff, and I'll be able to do the same to his, but mainly for the trade routes. We'll open borders with all our neighbours. This will build relations, and also hopefully make them not want to kill us. They're all cautious. They can decide to kill me if they really want. When they get to please, they're much, much, much less likely to attack you. Alright, yeah, pretty unfortunate we lost the tile, but the cottage, but we can build another one. It's only 4 turns wasted. It's not the end of the world. It's better than losing the city and stuff like that. And I think it's better. I could have saved the cottage by attacking it with 2 archers, but I had a 50% chance of losing an archer, and risking one of my units' life like that is not what I really want to be doing, even though I'm paying for my units now because I have too many units effectively. I need my units to defend, and if I lose them, I'm going to get overrun. So, holy shit, man, where the hell did you come from, you little bastard?
Tell me what to do.
Yeah, now they're just coming in non-stop. So I have to move that guy back because he's probably going for my farm, and I have to attack him next turn so I don't lose the farm. The farm's more serious. That takes 7 turns to improve. I don't want to lose my friggin' farm. Okay, so I will actually... He's already got a road here, and the road goes to his city almost definitely. So that's nice. When I finish the road right here, I will have trade routes. I'm thinking of alphabet so I can start trading technologies. Tech trading is a very big part of the game, and no one has alphabet yet. So tech trading, I might make a new video and explain that a bit later because it's already been an hour and a half actually, so I might just leave it here for now and we'll continue next time, and I'll talk about tech trading, diplomacy, and more about the AIs and more of the mid-game stuff, great people. We'll talk about that in the next video. But yeah, I hope that was a good intro, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.